The sun dips behind smoke, streaked buildings. Streets are quiet, almost too quiet, broken only by the low hum of generators. You walk to an ATM, your pockets heavy with cash, stacks of bills meant to cover your family's week. But the machine, it spits out numbers that barely buy a loaf of bread. Gas stations, endless lines of cars, snaking through the city like metallic rivers. People clutch jerry cans, faces tense, eyes darting, tempers fraying. Protests flare in the squares. Bread, jobs, freedom. Chants echo off concrete facades, bouncing between high-rise walls. This is Iran, 2026. But rewind a few decades, and the city tells a different story. Tehran thrummed with ambition. Oil wealth flowed like lifeblood. Universities buzzed with students dreaming of the future. Cafes brimmed with heated debates, music, laughter, hope. Then came 1979, the revolution. Fire, pride, a nation imagining a new path. War followed. Sanctions strangled trade. Political turmoil swallowed prosperity. Dreams became survival. The streets once alive with energy now hum with tension. Every Rial devalued, every paycheck a struggle. Banks freeze accounts, prices skyrocket overnight. Ordinary citizens, teachers, doctors, shopkeepers pay the price while the powerful maneuver in shadows, untouched by the chaos they helped create. And yet, the city breathes, the markets bustle, children play among cracked sidewalks, and life continues. Tehran is a city of contrasts, a modern metropolis haunted by the past, teetering on the edge of uncertainty. Every street, every corner, whispers stories of resilience, of struggle, of survival. This is Iran at the edge of history, a nation caught between what was and what might yet be, between dreams of yesterday and the harsh reality of today. And for those who walk its streets, every decision, every rial, every protest carries the weight of a story still unfolding. To understand Iran today, you must first understand the Iran of yesterday, a land of dynasties, ambition, and revolution. For decades, the Pahlavi dynasty ruled with wealth and vision, oil flowing like a river, cities expanding, streets lined with ambition and opportunity. Tehran wasn't just a capital, it was a promise, a modern metropolis, alive with culture, education, and energy. But beneath the glimmer of progress, a storm was gathering. Political repression, inequality, and foreign influence brewed quietly, unseen by many. The people whispered discontent in cafes and schools, in the quiet of neighborhoods where dreams and fears intertwined. The Shah's vision of modernity came at a cost. For some it was progress, for many it was oppression. Then, 1979, the revolution. A wave of fire and fervor swept across the nation. Streets once vibrant with consumerism, now teemed with chants and banners. Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile, a symbol of change, hope, and upheaval. Monarchy fell. A new theocratic order rose. Pride, religion, and national identity intertwined, reshaping every corner of life. The aftermath was chaotic. The Iran-Iraq War erupted in 1980, consuming nearly a decade, devastating cities, and claiming 1 million lives. Oil wealth became a tool, not just an asset. Politics became a labyrinth of power struggles, where reformists, conservatives, and hardliners battled for influence, while ordinary citizens navigated shortages, rationing, and uncertainty. Yet even in turmoil, the Iranian people endured. Families adapted, communities persisted, education continued underground, and in defiance. Streets once echoing with revolution's fervor began to pulse again, with commerce, laughter, even subtle acts of rebellion. Today the ghosts of the revolution linger. Politics still shape the economy, trade, and daily life. Every law, every sanction, every policy echoes back to this history. Tehran is no longer just a city of ambition, it is a city of survival, memory, and lessons. A reflection of the choices, sacrifices, and resilience that define Iran. Oil, it has always been Iran's lifeblood, a river of wealth and a source of power. From the early 20th century, black gold fueled the nation's ambitions. Cities expanded, highways stretched across deserts, and the government dreamed of modernity built on petrodollars. But oil is a double-edged sword. It can create prosperity and dependency. By the late 1970s, Iran's economy depended heavily on oil revenues. The Shah used it to fund grand projects, build infrastructure, and cement his vision of a modern empire. Yet beneath the glitter of highways, factories, and high-rises, ordinary Iranians faced inflation, inequality, and limited political freedoms. The wealth never trickled down evenly. Then the revolution struck. Oil revenue became a weapon, a target, and a lifeline. Sanctions followed in waves, first after the revolution, then intensifying after the 2000s, as tensions with the West escalated. Every barrel of oil that couldn't be sold became a missed paycheck for families, a stalled project, a city left incomplete. The currency, the Rial, began to wobble. Banks tightened access. Prices soared overnight. Basic goods became luxuries. For the average Iranian, life became a delicate calculation. What can I afford today? How far will my salary stretch? Yet Iran adapted. A black market emerged. Smugglers, traders, and resourceful citizens found ways to survive, even profit. Remittances from family abroad became crucial. Underground markets thrived. The economy became a labyrinth of legal and shadow activity. Through it all, the people endured. Oil wealth may have been squandered or trapped in government hands, but ingenuity, resilience, and adaptability became Iran's true currency. Every rial spent, every bartered item, every underground transaction tells a story of survival in a nation caught between riches and ruin, ambition and sanctions, dreams and harsh reality. Tehran, Isfahan, Mashhad, they pulse with life, despite scarcity. The economy is fragile, yet alive, and the choices Iran makes now, political, financial, strategic, will decide if that pulse strengthens or fades. Iran's economy has always walked a tightrope, but in the last 2 decades, that rope has frayed. Sanctions, imposed, tightened, and enforced, have strangled trade, investment, and access to global banking. Every barrel of oil unsold, every frozen account, every blocked transaction echoes in the lives of ordinary citizens. Inflation surged, prices skyrocketed. In 2010, a loaf of bread that once cost 500 rials jumped to thousands. Savings evaporated. Middle-class families found themselves squeezed, cutting back on essentials, juggling jobs, and relying on networks of support. The rial plummeted. Foreign currencies became king. Tehran's streets transformed. Currency exchange shops, informal markets, and black market dealings became everyday realities. Yet sanctions weren't just numbers on a ledger. They reshaped politics and society. Government spending shifted. Subsidies on fuel, food, and medicine were cut. Social unrest simmered. Protests erupted. Ordinary Iranians, frustrated by inflation, unemployment, and corruption, took to the streets demanding reform, change, survival. Meanwhile, the oil sector, once Iran's powerhouse, struggled under aging infrastructure and lack of foreign investment. Pipelines corroded, refineries underperformed, and revenues dwindled. The country tried to pivot. Petrochemicals, domestic manufacturing, and technology initiatives. But progress was slow, often blocked by external pressures and internal inefficiencies. Banks faced liquidity crises. Loans became scarce. Credit froze. Citizens turned to informal lending networks, barter, and cash-based systems. The line between legality and survival blurred. The economy became a shadow of itself, resilient in its ingenuity, but fragile in its foundations. Through it all, Iranians adapted. Small businesses thrived despite adversity. Families created informal support systems. Innovation emerged from necessity. And yet the constant pressure of sanctions, inflation, and political uncertainty remains. A silent, persistent weight, shaping every transaction, every investment, every decision. Iran's financial system is a puzzle. Old structures, modern pressures, global isolation, and a population that refuses to give up. The question now is not just how Iran survives, but whether it can thrive amid the constraints it cannot control. Life in Iran today is a delicate balance between resilience and frustration, survival and ambition. Streets of Tehran, Isfahan, and Mashhad are alive with motion, shopkeepers calling out prices, cars honking in chaotic traffic, children weaving between pedestrians. But beneath the bustle, a quiet tension persists. Families calculate every rial, every purchase. Salaries barely cover essentials, and yet life continues. Adaptation is woven into daily existence. A shadow economy thrives. Cash is king. Informal markets, barter systems, and underground trades have become lifelines. From electronics to imported goods, people find creative ways to navigate scarcity. Those with access to foreign currency through relatives abroad or black market networks hold the upper hand. For everyone else, survival demands ingenuity. Subsidies and government support have shrunk. Public services are limited. Electricity shortages force households to rely on generators. Water and fuel are rationed, yet Iranians refuse to surrender. Neighborhoods organize community solutions, share generators, local markets, and support networks. Life finds a way. Technology plays a role too. Social media connects Iranians to global news, diaspora networks, and financial tips. Apps for remittances, currency exchange, and even informal lending are lifelines in an economy that often feels disconnected from the global system. But the shadow economy has a darker side. With cash dominating daily life, corruption, smuggling, and money laundering flourish. The line between necessity and illegality blurs, creating a system both resilient and risky. Through all this, Iranian society adapts, survives, and even innovates. Small businesses, home enterprises, and informal networks fuel life despite shortages and sanctions. It is a testament to endurance, a people navigating the gaps left by government inefficiency, global pressure, and economic volatility. Iran today is not just a nation under sanctions. It is a society reinventing itself, thriving in pockets, and enduring against odds that would crumble many others. The daily struggle, the improvisation, and the resilience define Iran as much as its history, culture, and oil wealth ever did. The future of Iran hangs in a delicate balance between the weight of history, the pressure of sanctions, and the determination of its people. Politically, the country faces deep internal divisions. Hardliners and reformists clash over policy, foreign relations, and the pace of economic change. Every decision is scrutinized, not just at home, but by a watchful world. Economically, Iran's path is complex. Oil remains a lifeline, yet dependency is risky. Diversification is critical. Technology, manufacturing, and renewable energy hold potential. Yet decades of isolation, mismanagement, and global tension have left gaps that cannot be filled overnight. Inflation, currency instability, and unemployment persist. Every rial saved feels fragile. Every investment a calculated risk. Yet there is hope. Innovation thrives in adversity. Startups in tech, renewable energy, and local manufacturing are emerging. Iranians are finding ways to tap global markets despite sanctions, leveraging ingenuity, skill, and the diaspora network. Communities support one another, creating informal economies that maintain life when formal structures fail. Internationally, Iran remains a chess piece in global geopolitics. Every deal, every negotiation, every sanction shapes the economy and the daily lives of millions. Diplomacy is not just policy, it is survival. And for ordinary citizens, survival means adaptation, resilience, and resourcefulness. The story of Iran is not just about politics or oil or even sanctions. It is about people, millions of ordinary lives navigating extraordinary challenges. They endure hyperinflation, supply shortages, and political uncertainty. Yet they build, innovate, and survive. Iran is a nation of paradoxes, ancient yet modern, isolated yet connected, struggling yet resilient. Its economy is fragile, its politics complex, and its society adaptive. The question that remains is not just whether Iran will survive, but how it will define its future. Will it transform these crises into opportunity? Will its people lead a quiet renaissance? Or will the pressures of geopolitics and mismanagement continue to weigh them down? Only time will tell.